Are you an empath or are you just overly sensitive? Let's have a conversation and sort this out. And most importantly, listen to what happens at the end of this video where I give you instructions on how to get your life on track. All right, so there's all this talk about, what an empath is, or maybe you're just super sensitive and you think you're an empath, or how do you tell the difference? What is the difference here between, being an empath or just being sensitive? Well, let's clarify this. Let's clarify what is an empath and who is somebody who's just being really emotionally sensitive. Because I think if you were to decide and to define what it is that is an empath, you then could help yourself actually develop your empath abilities. And if you're only just being sensitive about things, well, I can help you with that too, so you're not so sensitive. Does that even make sense? But let's just clarify the fact that not all sensitive people are empaths. That's just not how it works. Because an empath, there's a really big difference. An empath is a person who can respond. They can respond. An empath is a person who has information coming in from other people, and an empath is a person who can understand that information and respond and help a person. A person who's just being sensitive, when information comes in, that person just reacts. They're like, oh, that makes me uncomfortable, or, oh, that person's, emotions just startled me, or I've just got triggered. That is not an empath. That's a person who's emotionally sensitive. So emotionally sensitive people are not empaths. An empath is somebody who receives information and they have an interest in helping the other person. So an empath wants to respond and help. A emotionally sensitive person gets triggered and reacts and blames. So you can tell right now there's a big difference here between the two. Big difference. That there's a person who gets triggered and there's a person who wants to help. And so as we talk about this right now and to be able to help you, because there's been a lot of requests come into me to be able to talk about this, be able to help clarify some things in what's going on with people who are discovering their empath abilities. You can feel sensitive. You could feel sensitive, but deep down inside, you also feel this thing of like, wow, yeah, this is happening, but gosh, I wonder what I could do to help this person. That is powerful. So as an empath, as you are learning how to respond to people, and you're learning like what you could say and what you can do, that part of you of being an empath is super valuable to be able to help nurture that side of you, is that I help people. I feel all this information. I can sense and feel what's going on in the room. I literally can understand this person that's standing over there in the corner. I can feel them, sense them, and I want to help. And that right there, I believe, takes your empath abilities up to the next level, is that you are looking for the ways to help. You could be let me be careful on how I say this. You could be an empath that takes advantage of people because there are people who do this, who can sense and feel people, and then they literally manipulate them because they understand what's going on with the person more than that person understands themselves. So how there's good and bad in everything? You can have people who are empaths that are just bad. They're just mean. They take advantage of people. They manipulate people. They steal from them. They in a way, emotionally and mentally control that person. But you could do a lot of damage if you were mean and a bad person in that way. But that's not who I'm talking to. Who I'm talking to is the people who want to help, the people who want to make a difference. So if you are somebody who is sensitive to other people's life choices and the way that they act and the way that they manage their emotions, this oversensitivity that you have, that you're wondering if that makes you an empath, if you find yourself triggered and you find yourself going, why is that person doing that? Why do those people need to act that way? that is telling you that you actually need to learn how to manage your own emotions. It's not really a quality of being an empath, because that you're just going the other direction. It doesn't make you a bad person. It just helps clarify that what you need to work on is the management of your own emotions. You see, what happens to people as we have emotions, it's like my body is a container, right? Like imagine my body is a container, and as the day goes along, emotions are happening between me and other people, and those emotions fill up. And then once you get up to here, and then the next person does something that triggers you, all of a sudden, because you're clear up to here, you find yourself reacting to that person, and you now are unloading emotions. Well, let me just draw you a picture. Okay, watch this. So here's you, and here's another person, and we're all in these containers, right? We all have these bodies with containers, and let's say you've had a day where the emotions have filled up. When you get to a certain level, there becomes some spillover. Just like any bucket or cup or container, if you keep filling it up, sooner or later it's going to spill over. And when you get full of these emotions, you'll have spillover, and it will spill over onto other people. And then now your hurtful emotions, or whatever they are, upset emotions, now go over and get on other people. What you can do as a person, though, is you can actually take some of this out, scoop some of this out, so you don't find yourself unloading your emotions on somebody. You're not dumping your emotions on your spouse or your children, because that happens. In fact, you know what happens is that the most common way for somebody to relieve themselves of all these emotions is they unload them on their spouse, their kids, or their pets. I know it just sounds weird, but when somebody gets full of an emotion, they find a way to unload. But unfortunately, that's just the people that get dumped on. And that's not good. So if you're a sensitive person and you find yourself being triggered by people and you find yourself feeling other people's emotions, you actually may be this person right here, where you're just full of emotions and you're just oversensitive. A person who is full of emotions is very sensitive because they don't want to spill on somebody else, but they're on this teetering edge of, if one more thing happens, then they're going to unload on somebody. What I'm helping you decipher is, maybe what you need to do is you need to take some time and journal about how you feel. Unload on paper, not on people. So unload your thoughts and feelings on paper, not on people. And lower down your emotions. Then test to see if you can still sense and feel people, and you have a desire to help another person. And you can really pick up on people's information, like not just their mood, but literally you hear information coming to you. Then you're an empath. But you could be an empath, you're just an oversensitive person right now. But what you do is you lower those emotions, unload your thoughts and feelings on paper for a couple days in a row, then notice how you feel between what the experience is like between you and other people. An empath hears a conversation, not just feels. An empath hears information. Like right now, there's people in this room with me right now, and there's a person right behind the camera right now. And if I stop thinking about you right now and I tune into the person on the other side of the camera, I can hear her giving information off. We all send out information. And so if you hear information coming from people, not only just feel it, but you can hear it, then you're stepping into that realm of being an empath. So if you happen to be sensitive and you think you're an empath, unload your emotions. Unload your emotions so that on paper, not people, so you can tune in to see if you can just feel people's moods, because that's not an empath, But if you can feel people's moods and you can hear information coming from them, you're definitely an empath. And being an empath, remember this: your job, your work, your mission is allow that information to come in. You then think and process what you could do to help that person. And that's what we are. We're people who help people. We don't manipulate people. We don't take advantage of people. We don't use their information against them. We use that information to help them if they're ready to be helped, if they're ready to move to the next step, if they're ready to do something different in their life. But that's what we do. That's the contribution we have back to the world. And it literally is a gift or a talent that is good for families, good for business, good for helping clients, good for helping neighbors. But for both, being the sensitive person or the empath, you got to manage your emotions. Tough to make a good decision about what to do to help people when you're stacked full of emotions. So I think what we'll do here at the very end of this training today of clarification for you is unload your thoughts and feelings on paper. Don't unload on people. And you be the one to monitor, the amount that you have in your container of who you are. Don't let it get up to this level. Don't let your negative emotions and negative thoughts get to that level. You work on depleting yourself of all negative thoughts and all negative emotions. Whatever gift and talent you have will function better as you deplete yourself of negative thoughts and negative feelings. And that's going to require you to pay attention to what's going on inside your head and what's going on inside your heart. Every person who can manage their negative thoughts and their negative emotions better, manage and stop those, your life will improve. And you'll know what to do next in your life. It's just powerful. So to develop your gifts and talents, be sure that you are depleting, clearing out negative thoughts and negative feelings. And you go and you journal and you unload on paper. Don't ever again unload on people. And if you have to course correct somebody, you talk to them. You don't yell at people. You don't get mad and just be all emotionally out of control on people. You manage yourself. You be the one to manage who you are. And this is what I love to do. I love to train people about how to improve their lives by improving themselves. And by improving yourself, you can improve your life. And so to support you, in where you're going in your life, I think this really helped you because now you have a step to take to be able to help clarify what is your gift and talent to contribute to the world. And you find it by depleting yourself of those negative thoughts, those negative emotions. Unload on paper, not on people. Now for additional training, subscribe. Don't miss anything I got for you. Just subscribe here. And then also would be great for you to do, go to my website at 3keyelements.com and check out my course called Art of Mentoring. At Art of Mentoring, I train you on what steps to give people so that they can move forward in their life. So if you're an empath and you don't know how to help people, go to Art of Mentoring and I'll teach you what to teach people to help them get their life organized. Because you're getting all this information from them, might as well know what steps to put people on to improve their life, right? Instead of trying to guess or come up with ideas, how about you get training on what really works? So check out the course called Art of Mentoring. You'll love it. You'll love it. All right, awesome. Thank you.